Very easy. I have just written something on the board. I have declared size of a variable using, size of an array using a variable. So if you just write it on the editor, do you think there is any mistake in writing the code? It will create the array of size 10. But it will lead to an error. Error is that you are declaring size of an array using a variable. What is the first property of arrays we have discussed previously? They are fixed, they are static, their size remain fixed. So how one can declare size of an array using something that is varying? Variable is varying. उसकी definition is like that, isn't it? So we have to make this variable fixed entity. So if you want to make this particular variable as a fixed entity, you have to write const, constant keyword with it. Now we can claim that we have declared the array with not a variable but a constant variable, fixed entity. Afterwards, if you are writing size equal to 20 over here, it will not allow you, because you have fixed this quantity. You have fixed the value of this particular variable. So constant cannot be changed, one thing. So we are conforming with the property of the array. Constant must be initialized and declared. So you have to write this complete line. You have to declare it, make it constant, and you have to initialize it in one go. If you are initializing it in the second line, in the next line, it will not allow you, because it's part of the array, syntax of constant variables, that they are declared and initialized on the same statement. Also called name constant. By writing this constant, you have made this variable read only, isn't it? Now you cannot write on it. You can only read from it. See out कर सकते, see in नहीं कर सकते. Or you cannot even assign any value to this variable. So proper way of writing constant पहले देख लेते हैं. This is how proper way of writing the constant variable. It could be any variable. It not necessarily size. It could be a variable x. Constant integer x equals to 7. The value of constant variable is of course 7. So this is the proper way of utilizing or implementing a constant variable. Now what could be the improper way? It could be this thing, that you have declared the variable as constant, but you haven't initialized it in line number 6. So it will occur in duplicacy of errors. There are couple of errors over here. First one, you haven't initialized the constant, line number 6. And second one, you are trying to modify the value of the constant in line number 8. C++ will treat it like this. So couple of errors. Uninitialized constant result in a syntax error. Attempting to modify the constant is another error. So proper way is to initialize it in same go. ये समझ आ गई कांस्टेंट की डेफिनेशन आपको? ठीक है. Now let's utilize it in a program. Constant integer size equals to 10. Constant integer size equals to 10. Using a variable, constant variable. S, name of the array is S now, size. I is less than 10. Previously we always write 10 over here, isn't it? 10, 15. So one thing there is also a merit associated with this. An advantage also associated with it, and that one is that what if you are not utilizing a variable to declare the size. You are writing less than 10 and you are implementing 10 loops afterwards. In each loop you are writing less than 10, I is less than 10, isn't it? आपने प्रोग्राम बनाने 10 loops है उसमें, less than 10 हर loop में आप लिखेंगे या नहीं? Of course we have to write less than 10. मैं आपको कह दूं आपने एक पर्टिकुलर लेट्स से क्लास के लिए बनाया था विद स्ट्रेंथ 50, अब इसको चेंज कर दें विद फॉर अनदर क्लास विद स्ट्रेंथ 46. You have to change each and every loop less than 46, less than, but utilizing the size of the variable array as variable, you just have to change over here and all the loops will be running afterwards. ये भी इसका एक added advantage है in terms of editing the program. Because you are using a variable. So just you have to change the size, every loop will be working. So coming to this particular scenario, S is an array size, we have declared it. For I equal to 0, I is less than size. S of I equals to, ये किससे इनिशियलाइज होगी? जी, किससे इनिशियलाइज होगी? S of 0 किससे होगा? S of 0 equal to 2 plus 2 into 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. I becomes 1. किससे इनिशियलाइज होगा? I becomes 2. Even numbers. So by writing this line, you can initialize an array using even number. With any combination of I, different values will be there. Instead of writing this line, you can also write C in S of user से भी ले सकते हैं. Just write the loop, start the loop. Instead of writing this, prompt the user, enter the value for this array. C in S of I. So S of 0. जो वैल्यू आई यहाँ पर, next time I becomes 1, S of 1. So you can also do get input from the user and populate your array. And rest is the same, element value जो भी आ गया है उसके contents को display करना आपने, वो आप display कर सकते हैं easily. For example, in this case we have modified array with the even numbers. ठीक है? Okay, we create this array using initializer list. Sum the contents and display the answer. चलिए जी स्टार्ट करें क्लास वर्क. ये आपके सामने array है. Create this array of 10 elements with these values using initializer list. Sum the contents. हर वैल्यू को सम करें. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 एक वैल्यू क्या है वो बताओ. जरा स्टार्ट इसको प्रैक्टिस करें.